going on, folks? We're back here with another review for you. Of course, we had our main event of Friday Night Smackdown, January 8th, before Wild Card Weekend. It would be a gauntlet match involving Rey Mysterio, Sami Zayn, Daniel Bryan, Baron Corbin, Shinsuke Nakamura, and later on, Adam Pearce, because of earlier cooperations with Kevin Owens. And then the final 30 minutes of the show would involve primarily the gauntlet match. We have like a decent format over like Roman Reigns just opening the show, doing a good promo, more interactions. Jey Uso just trying to instigate, trying to bring over Shawn Spears and try to force him over to wrestle him. No Kevin Owens over the show because they finally like figured it out. And people's like, we shouldn't get rid of the brand split. Why? Brand split is if we have an overflux of talent. We barely had that even when we fired most of the guys. Unify the belts at WrestleMania. Like Goldberg face off against Roman and Roman unifies them so we can have more flux of guys for the main event scene. We can spread out our mid-card and we can make more storylines. We can even try to expand our tag team division. Thanks, people whine about it this much. And our women's division can actually get some identity. Stop with this BS. The brand split does not work. You guys only wanted it back then because you guys wanted more time on your indie dudes. And now most of the time now, Roman Reigns, Kevin Owens, Finn Balor, Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, lowest ratings for Raw and SmackDown over most of the last 4 to 5 years. This brand split has shown to be a proverbial failure. And over most of the loophole BS inter-brand garbage plus Survivor Series failures, all of the wild card, brand split invitational rulings that they put over, it's inconsistent, it's terrible, and it doesn't set up anything. So if I were you, I'd get rid of it. Set aside from the little rant I had over the brand split, because I really think that this is dying and it's garbage. We had barely any interviews going over most of the guys competing in the title match, especially when a few of them literally nominated to be in the Royal Rumble match. So why would Daniel Bryan be in a number one contender spot when he literally has a ticket for the Royal Rumble? So it was obvious he was getting eliminated anyway. Where's Otis and frickin' Chad Gable? I heard something about Mysterio's son and daughter, I think, stepping out of WWE for a bit. I don't know what's going on. So it's been even shown later orally over discussions with Adam Pearce and all the stuff with Paul Heyman and Roman Reigns. He'll be competing in the gauntlet match. And we only had, 2 to 3 matches over the show. We had not that much of a choppy interview, just back and forth shots over with Bianca Belair and Bayley. Decent promos between these women. Bayley just shows to be like an incompetent little child. We had Billie Kay willing to try to manage the Riot Squad, trying to be part of the Riot Squad. We had an Intercontinental title match. There was a cool segment all over on Talking Smack involving Paul Heyman. The Intercontinental Championship was defended, Big E versus Apollo, over Apollo helping him out to win a tag team match against most of the heels. So the first opening challenge for Big E would be against Apollo. The match was fine. We had a moonsault over the outside, over the apron. Counters off Insiguri's, a powerbomb for a near fall. After a superplex with the legs hooked, come into a double pin situation. After Apollo got heated and slapped the Big E, restarted the match out of not Shawn Spears. The ref just took his control and just set it up to be a restart of the match. Not that much drama. So it comes off with Apollo causing Big E to get too pissed off. hit him over with a spear from the ring, belly to belly suplexes, and then a big ending. Apollo comes acting like a whiny little 2-year-old, losing probably his final spot to be Intercontinental Champion. Then he gets a bit of a lecture, but some advice from Paul Heyman. Next, we have also the WWE Smackdown Tag Team Championship belts being defended with the Street Profits finally losing them in an average match against a pretty decent team out of Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler. Decent comeback Enziguri's off Apollo. Thank God we didn't get a promo over the Street Profits. That's all I know. That's all I benefit from. No freaking promo. Drop kicks. They went over like Montez Ford suffering injuries after a post assault against the Street Profits last week. Not much selling focus over there other than Apollo looking a bit injured. Angelo Dawkins was taken out the equation later in the match, and then it ends with a freaking full fisherman suplex that nearly gets the victory with the leg hooked. Then it came in this cool combination of a zigzag and a spine buster to win the SmackDown Tag Team belts, even though these guys had 3 chances now. Don't really care about Ziggler and Roode. There's barely that much of a tag division to speak of over the loss of, technically Wesley and Cutler are still there, but they're just part of this crappy, redundant team. Like, who names a team? The frickin' what is it? The Knights of the Lone Wolf, even though they're lone, yet they're knights, so that means they're a band. Why not just call them the Band of Wolves? Sure, it's like, wait, oh, that sounds cool. No, it doesn't. Oh, wait, put some logic in it. So, the former NWA World Heavyweight Champion, Adam Pearce, would become the winner in face-off against Roman Reigns at the Royal Rumble. I don't expect this to last over for long because, of course, I hear stuff about probably Seth Rollins returning to face him off. And all this garbage. First, Nakamura came around and eliminated nearly everybody when Mysterio and I think Corbin started. So we had some karate kicks over on Daniel Bryan, armbar, reverse to Kinshasa. We had some really cool moves. Adam Pearce gets the win after Roman Reigns and Jey Uso helped assault Nakamura. That was the final competitor, and he was the recent winner of the 2018 Rumble. So, I guess he finally broke up with Cesaro. Don't know what happened. So it ends up with Adam Pearce picking up the night, and then we fade to black. It had decent wrestling. I'll give it that. Not that much over in the card just to fill up with the freaking gauntlet match that barely tells a story. Other than the focus on Adam Pearce's part of it, it didn't, allocate to anybody else's story, especially off Corbin. That's all we had is skinny fat midgets fighting over the main event scene, and people think, oh no, we don't need the brand split. We still need the brand split for what exactly? What's wrong with just having Raw just revolve around most of the storylines, and SmackDown could be a bit of a B show, so we can focus on sometimes the main event storyline and some of the mid card fun storylines. That's a down rotation, and plus it works. It works for the current situation that WWE's at. I'm just saying, man. It's a bit worthless. I like Roman Reigns. I don't mind Adam Pearce. It's great to see Sonya Deville have an action to come back. It just feels a bit silly to me. I don't really care that much over the action of Adam Pearce facing Roman Reigns, because of course this is going to be a short-lived thing, and if it is going to be a short-lived thing and Roman's going to face somebody else, because I hear Damian Priest is coming into SmackDown. I don't know what's the hype factor over to that, and seeing how much stuff that SmackDown's lacking, the only reason why people even give it a positive review as it is because of Roman Reigns. And not to rag on Roman Reigns, and I'm not saying that there isn't good wrestlers in the show. There was some good wrestling in the show. It just felt bland to me. Like there's nothing else I should be paying attention to, and that's what SmackDown's really missing on. So I'm just gonna give it a 5. It's better than Raw the previous week and the week after, but they really need to pick their game up because they're getting ready for their their second biggest show of the year. So they need to really pack stuff up because it doesn't sound like they can do that much because there's not that much guys on the main roster. And there's barely that much of intertwining story to build over because of most of the sicknesses going around. So all I'm saying is just don't get your hopes so high come next week, next episode of SmackDown. Hopefully the show gets better. But that's it for me.